1967, I was a 10-year-old attending the first day of school at Snug Area School. I remember it being a really hot, hazy, windy day, but cannot remember much about the fires. All I can remember is everyone in the Snug school was evacuated to the Snug beach, and children were grouped together in the assembly hall. And for some reason there were 12 or 13 of us kids who lived in the Sandfly area remained in the assembly hall. The teachers told us not to look out the window, but as kids we did, and we could see that the Tabor school buses were near to the ground. We could see there was a big above ground fuel tank that might well explode. So we waited there for some time, the 13 of us, this is my memory, and eventually we could see the top of the room that we're in, the assembly hall, was actually on fire, and some of the beams were starting to catch fire, and we were wrapped in blankets and wet flannel towels. And then they arranged the small green bus, I think it was the Griffiths bus, because there was large trees that were blocking the road, and I remember all of us getting on this little bus, and it was quite late in the afternoon, somewhere around, I think around 4 p.m, and we finally got out and started going back towards Margate Way, but there was this large tree that blocked the road heading up towards Electrona. Eventually that tree was cut in half and the bus would get through, but I clearly remember going zigzag all the way home around the telegraph pole, because as they fell across the road from either side, we had to go zigzag in between, so it took some hours to get home. We eventually got to the Sandfly shop, and my father, Lionel Armstrong, had his car station wagon there, and he put the 13 or so children in the car, and he said, get in and I'll take you home if I can. So I remember, not clearly, but I remember some children didn't have a home to go home to, so I think Dad kept them, and I think they were taken to an evacuation centre somewhere. And I eventually got home, heading up towards Cayuga Way, and they lit a fire break that afternoon, or that night, to save our property, but the only thing that we lost was our dog. The dog had burnt. My mother, who stayed home that day to look after my younger sister, who was ill, thought from all the reports on the radio that all the children, or a lot of the children in the Snug Area School had actually died. So she thought from early on that myself and my sister Wendy were dead. Later on, we spoke about it, and my sister and I joked that she can't remember me in the bus coming home, and I can't remember her in there, but I know there was 13 of us. And that's my memory, other than attending the Snug Area School for the rest of my year 5 in those temporary buildings, and seeing all the devastation, especially at Snug, which was one of the worst areas hit, and a lot of our friends who had lost family, and some had lost lives. So that's my story.